All right, so you got to look for two numbers that will multiply 7 and would add up to positive 8. 7 times 1 equals 7, right? And 7 plus 1 equals 8, and that's what I want. Okay, so my two parentheses would be b plus 7 and b plus 1. What do I need to do if I want to check this? Do the box. Very good. All right, so multiply to 10. That would be 5. Yeah, and I could also have them negative, right? I could have negative 10 and negative 1 and negative 5 and negative 2. I could have either one. But it needs to add up to negative 11. So these two. There you go. So negative 10 and negative 1, correct? All right, so this would be n minus 10 and n minus 1. Okay? All right, for 90, negative 9 times 10 or 9 times negative 10, right? You can have 90 times 1, but you need a 1, so that's too big. You can have 45 times 2, right? You can have something times 5. I can't remember how many times is 90. Is 5 can go into 90. But I think I have it over here because I need a positive 1. So which one will give me a positive 1? Negative 9 and positive 10, right? When I subtract that, is that going to be equal to 1? Yes. Yes, right? So m minus 9 and m plus 10. All right. So for a negative 12, negative 6 and 2, positive 6 and negative 2, right? I got negative 4 and 3, or 4 and negative 3. And I got 12 and 1, or 12 and negative 1. But I need a combination. All of those gives me negative 12, right? One positive, one negative, but I need a positive 4. 6 and negative 2. Yay? All right, we need to start doing this, highlighting them, writing them down, and then highlighting the ones that we need, okay? So this would be n plus 6, n minus 2. Yay? All right. So we're going to do this next one together. We're going to practice a little bit more before we go to some of the things that I want to do today. So any questions with this? No? All right, take this. Right here. All right. So the first one needs to multiply to 6 and add up to 5. So 6 would be 6 and 1, but it could also be negative 6 and negative 1, right? Because that's also positive 6. But it could be 3 and 2 and negative 3 and negative 2. But I want a positive 5. 3 and 2. There you go. So my two ones are x plus 3 and x plus 2. We got it? All right, let's do the next one. Needs to multiply to 10 and add up to 7. So 10 would be 10 and 1, negative 10 and there you go, you got it. 5 and 2 and negative 5 and negative 2. Which one adds up to 5 to 7? Would be 5 and 2, right? Plus and plus, right? Yay? All right. Next one. Needs to add up to positive. Oh, wait, let's do them. It's the same ones, right? No, it's not the same ones because it's a positive. Oh, but it could be negative. Okay, so it needs to add up. I'm sorry, it is the same ones. I don't know what the heck is wrong with me. Needs to multiply to positive 10, which is all of those. But now it needs to add up to negative 7. Negative 5 and negative 2. So this is x minus 5 and x minus 2. Now, Let's pass out index cards, please, so we can have this as a cheat sheet. Can somebody, one of my paper people, thank you. Come on, help out. Do half and half. All right, so what do you notice about the, let's start with the plus plus. When it's a plus and a plus, so we can have this as a cheat sheet, what do? How are the parentheses? Positive and positive, right? Okay, so for factoring, trinomials, if I have a plus and a plus, that is a positive parentheses and a plus parentheses and a plus parentheses. Do you see it? Plus, 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 plus. Yay? I think we came up with some of them yesterday, didn't we? All right. All right, let's do this one. It needs to multiply to 8 and add up to -6. -4 and -2. Is that positive 8? Yes, and when you add them, is that -6? Yes, so this would be x minus 4, x minus 2. Okay, now let's take a look at those two. What's the pattern? It's a minus and then a plus. So a minus and then a plus that means that both of the parentheses are going to be what? Minus, minus, right? Minus, minus. Because when you multiply them, it equals a positive, but when you subtract them, one of them has got to be bigger, right? And you add up to a negative. Very good. All right, let's do the next one. It needs to multiply to -6 and add up to -2. -1, I'm sorry. All right, so let's go ahead and figure out what are the factors for 6 and 1. 6 and 1, and if it's negative, one of them needs to be negative, right? And then 3 and 2. And one of them needs to be negative. So which one will give me a -6 and a -1 when I subtract them? -3 and? Oh, I jumped to that one. I'm sorry. No, I didn't. Yeah, you know me. It's okay. All right. So this would be -6. And when I take them away, -3 plus 2, right? You take them away because they're different signs. It's going to be -1. So this would be x minus 3 and x plus 2. So let's do that one that I skipped that I should have done. All right. It needs to multiply to -5, -10. Very good. And it needs to add up to -3. Yay? That's -10. When you multiply them, and when you add them, is -3. Yes? So what are my parentheses? There you go. Let's do this one. All right, it needs to multiply to -8. -4 and 2. Oh my God, I skipped it again. I skipped it! I skipped it! What's wrong with me? Because I skipped it. I am going to get a referral. All right, so -12. -6 and 1 and 6 and -1. What also? I'm sorry too. I need coffee. All right, what else? -4 and 3 or +4 and -3. So now I want the combination that will give me -1. -4 and a 3. Very good. So x minus 4, x plus 3. Okay, let's come up with a pattern because the last 3 that we've done. See, there was a method to my madness. I wanted to do that one because it was just like those two. Ha! Boom! Got this. Okay, but see, you spoiled it for me, Priscilla. Oh my God. All right. So when it's minus and minus, what do you have over here? One positive and one negative. Very good. Now, does it matter the order? No, we talked about this yesterday. You can put the positive first, right? Yay? Okay, so this is crucial. You got to keep this with you. This right here. You got to keep it with you. All right, let's do the next ones. All right, so this is positive 12, negative 7. 12 and 1. Negative 12 and negative 1. 6 and 2. Negative 6 and negative 2. I'm sorry, 4 and 3. Negative 4 and negative 3. Because all of those are positive 12, right? All right, now look at the combination that gives you a negative 7. There you go. That's simple, guys, okay? So x minus 4, x minus 3. All right, let's do another one just like that one. If it's, that's that, right? All right. Well, actually, let's just keep them in order. Let's do the next one. I know. All right, negative 8, positive 2. Negative 4 and positive 2. But you can also do positive 4 and negative 2. You can do 8, negative 8 and 1, or you can do 8 and negative 1. So which one gives me a positive 2 when I subtract them? There you go. 4 and negative 2. So x plus 4, x minus 2. Yay? All right, next one. If it's plus plus, that's plus plus, right? So it should be plus plus, right? All right, so let me go ahead and put it in the middle. All right, two numbers that multiply to 8 and add up to 6. There you go. Because you know that you have to add them because both of them are positives, right? So 4 times 2, 8. 4 plus 2, 6. All right, this is a minus and then a plus. You see it? Minus, plus, which means it's going to be minus, minus, right? All right, so they need to multiply to positive 6, which you got it. Negative times a negative is a positive. But then they need to add up to negative 5. There you go. You got it. Done. Do we have the plus and then the minus? No, that's the other one that we need to figure out, right? Let's do that one. Plus and minus. Let's see. We're going to do a couple of plus and minuses. There you go. We're going to do this too. Let's do this too and figure out the pattern, okay? So it needs to add up to multiply to negative 10. So negative 10 and 1, or 10 and negative 1, right? It could also be negative 5 and 2, or positive 5 and negative 2. And that's it. Now I need to figure out which one gives me 5 and negative 2. There you go. See how easy it is once you write them? Yes? X plus 5? X minus 2. So if I am doing this correctly, one of them should be positive, the other one should be negative. So let's try this one over here that is just like that, plus and then minus, and see if that's correct. All right, so negative 6 times 1, or 6 times negative 1. What are my other factors? Negative 3 and 2, or positive 3 and negative 2. And I'm looking for a positive 1. There you go. Positive 3 and negative 2. So this would be x plus 3, x minus 2. So, and we got them. So what's the pattern for this one? A plus and a minus would be a plus and a minus. Okay, and I think we got all 4. Do not lose this. because that's your cheat sheet. We got it? All right, so let's keep this. Now let's start using my cheat sheet. Plus, plus. All right, so plus, plus. Very good. All right, it needs to multiply to 12 and add up to 7. There you go. 4 and 3. That's simple. You got number sense, you can do this. After you learned that cheat sheet, right? Minus, minus? Minus and then a plus, which means I'm subtracting, right? Because they're different signs. And which one needs to be negative? The 4. Very good. So x minus 4, x plus 2. Let's do it again. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. We got it? All right, this is plus, 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 plus. There you go. Pretty easy, right? All right, plus, minus. Plus, minus, right? Plus, minus, exactly the same. There you go. Positive 4 and negative 3. Positive 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. But 4 minus 3 is 1, which is what I want. Now, minus and plus. Minus, minus. So x minus 4, x minus 5. There you go. We're done. Oh, yeah, very, very hard. We got it? But you got to learn this. This is crucial. I'm going to tell you something. Eyes on me. This will help you eliminate when it's A, B, C, D, right? Because if it's plus, plus, you need to have plus, plus. If you have a plus and then a minus, you can take it away. If you have two minuses, take it away, right? Eliminate it. So this helps you out a whole lot. Say that again. Of course. That's my middle name. Hard and tricky. Rigorous and tricky. All right. So you can keep writing on the papers that we were writing yesterday. We were taking notes. We're going to do a few problems where the number that's in front does not have a 1. So let's do this. All right. All right. So the first thing that I notice is that it's a plus plus, which means it needs to be plus plus. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Again, and if it's A, B, C, D, you eliminate everything that doesn't say plus plus, correct? And then you're upped at your chances from 0% to, if you eliminate 250, if you eliminate 175, 33, 33, yes. For a minute there, I couldn't do math. All right, so now, this one is a little harder because you got a 3 in front of the x squared, okay? So I need to figure out the factors of 2 and the factors of 3. And I also need to figure out that when I multiply those four numbers, it needs to add up to 5. So the factors of 2 are 2 and 1. Yes? And 3 is just 3 and 1. Now this one's pretty easy because it's just 1. Now how do I multiply those four numbers so that I can get a 5 in the middle? Now I'm adding, right? So I'm adding, correct? Because the numbers in the middle, because the parentheses are pluses. So that means that everything is added. Because you don't have different signs. So what combination can I use? No, you're not listening to me. What combination of numbers can I use that will multiply 2 and 3 and add up to 5? 3 and which one, and 2 and which one? You need to pair them up so that I can get a 5. Okay, 3 and 2 and 3, you're telling me the same numbers twice. I'm going to ask again. What combination can I use? One of these with one of those. One of these with one of those. I already know that they multiply 2 and they multiply to 3. Now I need to make sure that they add up to 5. Dora. I can't hear you, baby. They need to add up to 5. Okay. Listen, stop shutting me down. I need to take one of these numbers and multiply by one of the top. Do we understand that? All right. Yes? Okay. And the other number needs to be multiplied by the other top. I need to multiply it in a way that it will give me 3 and 2, but it will add up to 5. If I multiply 3 times 2, that's 6. If I multiply those two, that's 3, correct? If I multiply this 2, that's 2. And 3 plus 2 is 5. Okay. This worked out I don't understand why you're telling me cross multiplied. This worked out cross multiplied just because of the way that I wrote the numbers. But if I would have put the 1 over here in front of the 2, then it would not have been cross multiplied. These are not proportions. These are combinations of numbers that need to multiply 3 and need to multiply 2, but also add up to 5. So these are not proportions, so stop thinking proportions. Because I wrote it that way, you automatically thought that were proportions, but these are not proportions. When are we doing this? These are polynomials. We're not doing proportions. We're doing polynomials. All right? So the 3 needs to be multiplied by the 1, so they need to be in different parentheses. And the 2 and the 1 need to also be multiplied, so they also need to be in different parentheses. Now, if you're in doubt, you're going to check it out, so we're going to do the box. And everybody needs to be doing this. All right, this square, 3x squared. This one, this one, this one, this one, 2x, and that one, 2. There's your 3x squared, there's your 5x, and there's your 2. So I've done it right. All right, number 2. All right, what are my multiples of 3? 3 and 1, or 1 and 3. And what are my multiples of 2? 2 and 1, or 1 and 2. So now, one of the bottom numbers need to be multiplied by one of the top numbers, right? And when I add them, as soon as I pick what am I going to multiply with, then they need to I need to make sure that they add up to 7x. So what can I multiply together? 3 and 2 That would be 6. 1 and 1 will be 1, right? And 6 plus 1 equals 7 because this is a plus plus and it needs to be plus plus, right? All right. All right. So 2 would be 2x and 1, right? Because the 3 and the 2 need to be multiplied, they need to be in different parentheses. So where does the 3 go? In this parentheses or in that one? First or second? Second, because they need to be in different parentheses so that I can multiply them. If they're in the same parentheses, I'm not going to multiply them. But I do need to multiply the 3 and the 2 together. And then that would be 1. Let's go ahead and check it. This is an x, right? All right, this squared, this region, 2x squared. That one, 4x. And this one, there's something wrong in here. Because I don't have 7x in here. I missed the 3, didn't I? Yes, so where does the 3 go? Where the 1 is. Very good. This is where the 3 go. So instead of that 1 is going to be a 3, which means this is 3x, and that would be, I still have, this is why this is important. So the 3 goes where? All right, so this is not correct, right? This is why it's important to do the box. So let's try it again. It's a plus and a plus, right? This would be 2x and x. Where does the 3 go? The second parentheses. And then the 1 goes here. Let's see if we've done it right. We're going to do the boxes again. A lot of you do this and don't check it, and that's where you pick the wrong one. All right, this box, 2x squared. This one, 6x. That one, x. And this one, 3. Let's see, 2x squared. That's your 7x, and that's your 3. So now we got it right. Yay? All right. All right, number 3. All right, so factors of 2 and factors of 7. Now this is a minus and a plus. So both of them should be very good, minuses. Yay? All right, 2 would be 2 and 1. And 7 is just 7 and 1, right? So I need a 9. Seven times 1. And then that will be 7 plus 2, which is 9. Very good. So 7x and x. Do I need to multiply the 7 and the 2? Really? Why not? That will give me 14. This is adding. Why is this adding? Because a negative plus a negative is what? Another. What is a negative plus a negative? It's a negative and you add them. Now, a negative times a negative would be what? Okay, thank you. Listen when I talk. If integers are hard, this is extremely hard. The ones that are struggling is because you either don't have any number sense or we don't know integers. You can now multiply 7 times 2 because that will be 14. And then when you add that 1 times 1, that will be 15. You don't want 15, you want 9. So if the 7 and the 2 do not need to be multiplied, then the 7 and the 2 need to be in the same parentheses or different parentheses? Same parentheses. So this would be 2 and 1. Because the 2 and the 1 are multiplied together. All right. This one right here. Minus 7x minus 2x, and that's 2. Look at your positive 2. Look at your 7x squared, and then when you add those together, minus 9x. Yay? All right, let's do 4. All right, plus plus, plus plus. All right. This is a little bit more challenging because 3 only has 1 pair, but 6 has 2 pairs, right? So 3 is 3 times 1, but you can do 6 times 2 or 3 times 2. Now look at the number you want. You want in the middle 11. You want in the middle 11, right? So if I say 6 times 3, that's 18. You're adding, right? Are you adding? 6 times 3 would be 18. 2 times 1 is 2. Is that 11? No. So guess what? It's not 6 and 1. And even if you do it the other way, 6 and 1 is 6, right? And then 3 and 2 would be 6, and 6 and 6 is still not 11, right? All right, so how can I multiply numbers over here so that I can get an 11? And 2, there you go, you're getting the hang of it. See, this is a lot of practice, okay? So I got to do 3 times 3. All right, so let's start with the 3, with the 6. The 6 is 3x and 2x, right? I need to multiply the 3 times the 3. So same parentheses, different parentheses? Different. 3 and 1, right? Yeah, it's practice. It really is. This is just a lot of practice. All right, so tell me this one. 6x squared, 9x, 2x, and then 3. There's your 3, there's your 6x squared, and there's your 11. Yay? All right, ready for the next one? If you need to watch, I'm recording, so if you need to watch this video again, by all means, watch it tonight. All right. Minus and plus will be minus minus. Okay. All right. For 3, factors of 3 and factors of 12, right? For 3, it would be 3 and 1. But for 12, there's a bunch. There's 12 and 1, 6 and 2, 4 and 3. So we got to start eliminating. I want a 13 in the middle. So if I do 12 and 1, that's 12. 3 and 1, that's 3. I'm adding because they're the same sign, right? So 12 and 3 is not 13, correct? So guess what? And I'm not even going to go into 12 times 3 because that's like 36. That's way too big, right? All right, let's see. 6 and 1 is 6. 3 and 2 is 6, but 6 and 6 is not 12, right? It's not 13, it's 12. Now if I do 6 times 3, that's 18, but when I add that other 2, so guess what? It's not that either. Alright, so you got to copy all of them, and then you got to start eliminating them, right? So how can I multiply this that I can get a negative 13? There you go. So I need to do 3 times 3 and 4 times 1. But let's start with the 12. The 12 would be 4 and 3, right? So 4b and 3b. The 4 needs to be multiplied by the 1. So where does the 1 go? Same parentheses or different parentheses? Different. And the 3 needs to be multiplied. Oh, no, no. And then 3 and 3 need to be in the different parentheses, right? Because we're in doubt, we're going to check it out. All right, this one, 12b squared. That one, negative 4b, negative 9b, and 3. There's your 3, there's your 12b squared, and that one would be your negative 13b. All right, plus plus means what? Plus plus. All right. Factors of 8 and factors of 3. Yay? All right, of 8, 8 and 1, 4 and 2. And of 3, just 3 and 1. So might as well just write it here, right? 3 and 1. Yes? All right, I want a 14, so there's a big chance that I probably won't use that 8 because that's too big, right? Let's see, if I do 3 times 8, that's 24. I'm adding, right? If I do 1 times 1, I'm adding 1, so that's not it. Let's cross it. 3 times 1 is 3. 8 times 1 is 8. And 3 and 8, I don't think it's 14, so it's not that one. All right, so how do I multiply this? 4 times 3, which is 12, and 2 and 1. Very good, and there's your other 2 for the 14. Yes? All right. So those 2 together and those 2 together, which means the 4 and the 3, where does the 4 need to go? Same or different? Different. And then the other number would be 1 and 2. Yes? All right, that one right there. 3b squared, 12b, 2b, and 8. There's your 8, there's your 3b squared, and when you add that, there's your 14. All right, so I need you to close your eyes and give me a number 1 through 4. Be honest. Everybody should have their... Okay, you can't put it up here. You need to put it up nice and tall. Nice and tall so that I can see. All right, I see a couple of 2s, so let's go ahead and practice a little more. All right, number 7. All right, so minus minus is what? Minus plus. Should have it here, right? Minus minus, minus plus. Yay? All right. Oh, this one's a really easy. Factors of 1 are just 1 and 1, right? Factors of 10, 10 and 1, 5 and 2. I don't think it's going to be 10 because I need a 3. That's a small number, right? Because if I do 10 times 1, now I'm subtracting, right? Because they're different signs, I'm subtracting. So if I do 10 times 1, that's 10. If I take away a 1, that's not going to be 9, right? So it's not that one. So it's got to be 5 and 2. Yay? Now how do I multiply this? Well, there's no other option than to multiply by what? By 1. But I got to figure out which one is negative and which one is positive. Is it the one that I multiplied 5? Well, it really doesn't matter because both numbers are what? They're 1, right? Yay? Alright. So 5k times 2k, 10k squared. This is 5k. Uh-oh. Minus 2k. I don't think this is going to work. Right? Why is it not going to work? It's a negative 3, and right now I got a positive 3, which means that's got to be positive, and then the other one's got to be negative. Very good. So it kind of does make a difference, doesn't it? Yay? This, do you see why is it so important to do boxes? Because something that simple, and guess what? And on that test, tomorrow we won't have a test because it's only a 3-day week, but next Friday we will, and I will, right? Switch them around and put that negative over here and that positive over here. And if you're not paying attention, you pick the wrong one. Correct? So you got to be careful. All right, let's do 8. All right, minus minus is what? A minus and then a plus, right? Yay? All right, multiples of 3. I'm not sorry, not multiples of 3. Factors of 3. 3 and 1, but then 6, 1, and 2 and 3. I need a negative 7. Now I'm subtracting, right? Yes? All right, so let's see. 6 times 3, that's 18. If I take away a 1, too big. 6 times 1 is 6. If I take away a 3, too small. So it's got to be 2 and 3. So 2v, 3v. Yay? Let's see. 3 times 3 would be what? 9. And if I take away a 2, isn't that 7? Yes. Yay? So the 3 needs to be where? On the same? Different because they're being multiplied, right? When I group them, does everybody understand that when I group them like that, that means that the 3 needs to be multiplied by the 3? Yes. And then the 2 and the 1. All right, because we're in doubt, we're going to check it out. Because the signs might be switched, right, like they were on the other. So we got to be careful. And it doesn't take but what, maybe 30 seconds to check because you guys are so good with the boxes, right? Doesn't take much to check. And then you make sure that you bank that question on that STAR test, right? Remember, we need a 70% this year. All right, so what is this? 6v squared, 2v, minus 9v, and then minus 3. There's your negative 3. There's your 6v, and when I take away, that's your negative 7v, so we're good to go. Yay? All right, more? No? Yes, you can. You sure can. Yes, let's do that. We can do 2 by ourselves. That's fine. We can. All right. That's number 9. We're going to do 2 by ourselves. All right. You start with your cheat sheet, right? To figure out what kind of parentheses you need to have in there. What time you guys leave? 1:10 or 1:05? I mean 2:05. I tell you that I leave you today? I do. Yes, I have. Because yesterday I didn't, and that was not very nice. Yeah, I did. I told you guys, but I didn't tell any of the other classes. So yes, so I was not being very nice. Yeah, it's birthday. If you wanna, eyes on me for a second. If you wanna leave this in your notebook, you may wanna take a picture of it so you can have it in your phone, because you're gonna need it for homework. Unless you wanna take it home, or if you wanna do another one, you can and just leave it home. However you wanna do it, okay? But make sure that you either have a picture or a copy of this so you can do homework. So it will help you do homework, okay? So take a picture, or get an index card and copy it all over again. Either one. And this cards are over here if you need one. Alright, you can work as a group. All right, are we good? Let's go ahead and finish this up so we can do our exit ticket. All right, so minus minus is one of the parentheses needs to be a minus, but the other one needs to be a plus, right? Which means I'm going to take away instead of add, right? Because they're different signs. Okay, so for 15, there's a bunch. Well, there's not a bunch. There's just two, right? And 5 and 3. And then for 8 is 8 and 1 and 4 and 2. I'm going to try to stay away because this is not a big number, right? I do not want to multiply 8 times 15. Do I? No. I always try to start with the smaller ones, right? Because those are the easiest one. It's a lot. I told you yesterday, right? I don't know if it was this group or the other one, that it's a lot easier for me to teach my math 8 because there's only 18 of them, right? But on my algebra 1, there's 30 and then there's 29. There's a lot more, so it's more hands-on, right? So if I do 4 times 5, right? That will be 20. And if I do 2 times 3, that will be 6. And since I'm taking them away, don't I get a 14? Yes. So the two numbers that I'm using are 5 and 3 and 4 and 2. So this is where I stop because I already know that 8 needs to be 4 and 2. So I'm going to write it first because that's my 8, right? So 4v and 2v. Then I think about what numbers do I need to pair up together. Where I want to pair up the 4 and the 5, correct? Not using that one. Not using that one, which means 4 needs to be on the other side, right? But does 4 need to be negative or positive? Do I want that 20 to be negative? Or do I want that 20 to be positive? Negative, which means that's not positive, right? All right, which means this guy needs to be minus if I'm going to put the 5 over here, right? And then this guy needs to be plus 3. Okay? Because it's going to be 5 times 3, which is 15, right? Yay? And then the 3 and the 2 multiply together. I don't know. We can always check, right? That's the beauty of this. You know how to do boxes. You guys are really good at doing boxes. And it only takes 30 seconds to figure this one out. Maybe a hot minute. That's it. Right? All right. So this would be 8v squared minus 20v, 6v, and minus 15. There's your minus 15. There's your 8v squared. And when you subtract that, there's your negative 14b. So are we good? Yes. All right. Minus minus is a plus and a minus, right? Or a minus and a plus. It really doesn't matter which one goes first, right? All right. 2 would be 2 and 1. And 7 is just 7 and 1. So this is a piece of cake. Because there's only 2 for each one, right? So 7k and k, because I already know that it's 7. So how do I get that negative 13? What do I need to multiply together? The 2 and the 7. Because that would be 14, right? And then I'm going to take away that 1 times 1. So 7 and 2 need to be in the different one. Does that 14 need to be negative? Yes, so that's a 2 over here and a 1 over there. And then let's check it out. This is so much easy when you have A, B, C, D. Because when you have A, B, C, D, you can always work from your A, B, C, D, right? And start doing boxes. And then you don't have to worry about factoring. You don't have to worry about factoring. All right, so this would be 14 k squared 1k minus 14k. I'm sorry, 7k. I was just trying to figure out who was paying attention to me. And it was Cornelius. Oh my God, brain fart. Thank you, Rolando. Why did I just forget one of my baby's name? That's crazy. I know. No, he's awesome. All right, so that's a 7, right? So there's your 7, there's your negative 2, and there's your negative 13. So listen, on this one, on the test, I would factor, right? Because those are easy to factor, right? But if you have something like this on the test, oh, for crying out loud, don't factor. Just look for, do your boxes for A, B, C, and D. You got it? Yes, because it's a little harder to factor. You might be able to do 3 boxes a lot quicker than trying to factor. All right, folders, cover folders, let's go. Okay, I need Dora and Vanessa. Go ahead and do the answer sheets with the names. They're on exit ticket. Okay, Christian, can you do the cover folders? And then my other worker. Who's my other worker? Papers and pencils. Papers and materials. Who's my other person? Yes, please. All right, we only. Priscilla, help out Christian, please. Laurenisha, pass out homework. All right, you have homework today. Don't smack your lips. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start slapping mouth. I don't give you homework that much, so I don't. Stop it! Yes, I'm gonna give you homework every day next week. Just for smacking my lips. Smacking your lips, not mine. I didn't smack. Keep smacking your lips. Keep smacking them now. There you go. See? See? See?
Next week, everybody go MIA.
I don't know what's that.
What's MIA?
Next year, action. I see the action.
Oh, there, I got it. I got it.
Really, Anthony?
All right, hold on. Shh. For the exit, eyes on me. Shh. Eyes on me. Exit ticket, you're only going to do 1 and 2. The first two. The first two. Exit ticket. Only doing 1 and 2. Exit ticket, only the first one and the second one, please. Exit ticket, first one and second one only. Stop talking. You have an exit ticket in your hands. It's a grade. You guys know that.
I didn't get an exit ticket. Are the exit tickets?
There you go. Do you have one? Whose answer sheet is that one? Whose work is that? What is that mess we got over there? I bet the exit tickets are under there. Yeah.
You want me to go put them over there?
We don't look. Yes, please. And put the exit tickets, the extra exit tickets too. Staple them, baby girl.
Everybody have a homework?
Now the homework goes in a folder that says homework algebra 1. And then the exit ticket goes on day 2.